Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Life is Better with Music with Gavin and Mitchell. Welcome to Season 2. Drum
Yes,
corps done.
sir. Sad.
Drum corps done.
Sad.
All, all the way until May.
Basically.
I mean, we'll have camps, so maybe some videos will pop up in the other seasons. Some flow marching, but it's over. But now we're on the new things. Still marching band, just slightly different. We got Bands of America, state circuits, and any other third party circuit that may exist. Um, and show choir preseason, I'll call it. And also just sit down season, because I know a lot of schools are back into school. I know Licking Heights, who I teach, they're back in school, so anytime I show up to rehearsal, they're still in their last period of class doing some wind ensemble. Um, I like what they do. They have wind ensemble the full year, unlike what
hmm
we did. How we just
We
kind
did
of
we do that too.
we have just marching band. It's it's cool, I know, but it's I'd also want to be playing my horn the whole year.
Right. We always
So,
put a full-blown concert with all six or five of our concert bands.
mm-hmm.
We usually put on a concert in September, October, so right in the middle of marching season. So
And I think that's the way to do it. That shows skill and
yeah,
shows you can balance everything together. And
and
also, but
still produce
I guess
both at a high
to be
level.
I guess to be fair, like Tarpon, that's literally all we would do is focus on that, and it's because of our rehearsals were longer, I guess. But that also would be
Something probably.
we have block periods. But even you can argue block period, one period of marching band, one period of wind ensemble. Most of them don't have to switch horns.
No.
Mellows got to go to their horns or trumpets. Baritones have to go to their trombones if they play, or euphoniums, stuff like that. Only a couple people really have to switch, mainly the brass players, but I, that's a side comment. But lots of new things. We have a lot of updates this week, so we're actually gonna jump onto the podcast. I know we haven't been on the, well, not on the podcast, on the website. We haven't been on the website since the first episode of season 1, but now, can you see that? You good?
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Uh,
Gucci.
yeah. So we haven't been on this in a while, since the first episode in general. So things have changed slightly. Pre-orders ended. I know we mentioned that last week, and we have a little new logo here. So let's talk about these new colors. We got a bunch of new things. We got women's sizes and men's sizes for both the podcast shirt and the website shirt. Just so the sizes are more exact. I know, the unisex, that can be very difficult for certain sizes. So it's I'd
Yeah.
rather just make it for both. Uh, you can still get the other one. Obviously, it's on the website if you know what your other sizes and the other shirt. But for the Raise Inspiring Production shirt, we have the black. We have this nice blue gray. I know I'm probably gonna get one of those. We have a darker gray, like a kind of like a navy blue, and then kind of like a light gray with a tint of blue on it. I guess you can say.
I like that
Um,
one.
I'm wearing my black one here. Very very comfortable shirts. They are so comfortable.
Let me take a wild guess at where mine is. Is it sitting in your apartment?
It's over there.
Yeah.
um, yeah, the pre-orders are all sent out and dropped off, so that's good. Woman sizes, there is only 4 colors, since the lighter gray blue wasn't available in this specific shirt. So sadly, we don't have that, but obviously you can buy the men's counterpart if you want that color. All the same prices, the shirts don't change price with colors. I think that's silly if people do that. It's just the color. Um, the Life is Better with Music ones. We got the black.
Got the purple?
We got the purple.
The
The
purple
dark
for today?
gray.
Hey
and then
yo,
kind of like a darker purple blue in a way.
I'm here
Um,
for it.
I like this one just because like it kind of reminds me of our Boston camp shirts from 2020, where like it was a dark gray, but we had
Hmm.
like the Waldo on there, and you could barely see it, and it said Boston on the front. You could barely see it, but it was like a cool effect when you got up close, and you could see like the slight difference between the shades.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, yeah, the woman's shirts for this have the same color, so you won't have to worry about that here. Um,
Yes, sir.
but
The
exciting, so
purple.
you won't have to wait months for it. These when I ordered one from this as a test. As soon as the
Hmm.
pre-orders ended, I got it in like 4 or 5 days, not even.
Really
They said it
awesome.
was gonna. They said like, and this was standard shipping, and I thought I wasn't gonna be getting it until like they said early September, like a couple weeks still, because like they had like the business days and this and that and this and that, and I was like, knowing like my history with ordering stuff, I always get it early anyway.
Really?
So I got it, I guess, 2 weeks early. So your luck may be as good as mine, and you may get your shirt a lot earlier than what your shipping paid for. Though to be fair, uh, the company that like manufactures our shirts is in Boston.
Oh,
So
really?
nice.
Mm.
And anytime I order anything from Massachusetts, it's always like at my door like 2 days later. So
Who knows?
yeah, so you guys may get it pretty quick, based off your shipping. So honestly, unless you want it like the next day, I wouldn't like pay for the like really big shipping for it. I know I won't. I'll just wait. It's
Right.
until get it early. But yeah, shirts are off. If anyone, if like enough people want new things of specific variety, we'll put it on. I know there's a teddy bear that I can make with the like the logo on the shirt.
I was gonna say baseball cap.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll get a hat. I already am working on a hat, so don't worry
Oh,
about
yes,
that.
sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
it's gonna be kind of like this one, with
Oh, I
like the
love that.
back, and then also
Yeah.
just a normal one where if people don't want that like trucker net in the back. Um, but the teddy bear, we can get our own teddy bear mascot. Like what? Do cadets have one? What do
Yeah,
cadet?
Cadets had one.
Yeah.
They named it this year Jack Kerouac after Jack Kerouac, who the show was inspired.
Well,
Blue
Blue
Stars
Coats
had one
was too.
too.
Yeah, so Blue Stars has one as well. So we could get our own bear. So
Who knows?
bear, there's a bear option. There's caps, hoodies. I know I'm gonna make hoodies because
I
winter's
want a
coming
hoodie.
soon. It's gonna get cold.
It's gonna be freezing.
Like tank tops, phone cases, um, basically everything. There's water bottles, mugs. So if you
Bro, I'm
ask
trying to
for
get a
it, I
tank
can
top for
make it.
next summer.
Tank top, yeah, we can get tank top set
I'm
up
trying
for
to
the
get tank.
spring.
I'm trying to get tank tops for next summer, dog.
I don't know if anyone wants to buy a tank top as we're approaching fall. Fall is basically a month from yesterday. It's September 22nd that fall
Oh, good
happens.
lord. Oh, good lord. It's
So,
fine. I still have a month of summer. It's fine.
oh yeah,
I'm all good.
just saying.
And life is great.
But no, I'm excited about like the merchandise overall because these shirts, like, I'm not just trying to promote them. Like, they are comfy
Yeah.
and like I'm gonna sleep in this tonight. Like, it's very nice feeling. It's like it's 100% cotton,
Okay.
but it's like so it's like really soft. And
Yeah.
certain colors aren't 100% obviously because they have to do stuff with dye and the cotton whatever it is. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't make t-shirts. Um, but like the black ones are 100% cotton and they're very nice. So get some shirts. You don't gotta wait 4 weeks now. So and I mean
Shirts.
they're not too bad.
No.
Because I do want to say all of the profit from shirts basically go right back into the website. And actually, we are gonna start building a like charity fund for like a music disability charity. That's I have to inform him more about that. But we did talk about that a couple weeks ago. But we do
Yeah,
have
there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff there. Obviously, I do like to point out that specifically a drum corps activity is not cheap.
yeah.
Um,
Well, eventually we want to do like
Scholarship
a
fund.
program, like a program every month, every year, like a drum corps scholarship thing. Just not like like if we can't
No,
raise a full scholarship, like still
but
say we
anything
raise
helps.
yeah 1,500. Here you go. Pay your first 3 months of fees on us. You know.
Right,
Um.
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely, United Sound is a really solid
Hmm.
program in Indiana. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but
I have.
they have a really good message, and they have um students with learning disabilities and or special needs learn how to play an instrument just like you and I did. So, and
Yeah.
some students perform alongside with each other at United Sound concerts. I
Hmm.
know that specifically our orchestra program in high school had a lot of United Sound members,
Hmm.
which is a really good message, because music is not just exclusive to anyone or
Yeah.
to one single, if it's not exclusive to anyone. It's for everyone.
Exactly. And like for the shirts and like any merchandise we sell, it's not like we don't make any profit from it. I just do want to kind of clarify that. Like we don't make anything from that. Um, half of the price is just the production price.
Hmm.
I don't produce it. He doesn't make it. A company makes it that takes that part and makes it, and then they send it out to you. Um, and the rest of it, whatever's left, we either put back into the website, like if we need it, like for the website cost or like Zoom subscription, that because that's what we record on. Um,
And we love how
yeah,
Zoom gives us a 40-minute with
yeah,
three people.
that's the.
Oh
Well, it's
God.
season 2 now. We can talk about it. Season 1, the episode with our guest.
Kevin.
All of a sudden, yeah, Kevin. All of a sudden, a 40-minute timer pops up, and we never had the problem like the other 5 episodes. Like,
No.
and then the next episode after that, it gave us the same problem, just him and me. And we were like, okay, well
Why?
now we have to get the subscription. We didn't understand why because it wasn't doing it before.
Right.
So we're like rushing Kevin, like, hey, we gotta go, we
We,
gotta
we gotta
go.
we gotta go.
But
We gotta
now
go,
that's all
man,
figured
and
out.
we can't stop going until we get there.
Um, but yeah, the any so like t-shirts, there's a production cost. Then the rest of it, if we need stuff for the website, that slowly gets paid off. And but mainly the most of it will go to like charities and funds for organizations that need it, like an instrument, like
Yeah.
programs need instruments or like
Marching
stands
brass
or
marching brass isn't cheap. They're
exactly
not cheap at all. Like, I don't even want to think about I haven't actively searched up how much a Yamaha mellophone is right now, but
like
it's a good
27.
4. Yeah.
I think like for like an okay one is
You know
2,700.
what? We're gonna do the thing.
Yeah, search it up. But while he's searching that up, I will say the overall goal of
Okay,
this
so it's
organization.
2000. What I'm seeing here, a brand new one is 2,169.99,
Oh, so even less.
and well, I'm just gonna look up how much our Contra is.
Oh, Contras are expensive.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I want to see this. $8,304.
Yes, instruments are expensive, and when you get into percussion standards and also
Oh
wind
God.
ensemble standards with
Right.
like tubas, like big tubas like for concert, bassoons, contrabassoons, like it,
Yeah.
music's not cheap. And
No.
as I was saying, the overall goal of this organization is yeah, you know, we like creating like shows for marching band, show choir, indoor, and like that would be like where like if we were to make profit, and though that's where that would be from is like the shows we create.
Right.
And that's where like the production part of it is. Like, it's our productions. But we have a more of a mission as well with this. Like, yeah, I'm writing drill. I write music. I arrange. Him and I design shows. We're gonna get into more. I write choreography. He helps with programs. You know, it's a way to like obviously sell our productions. But like merchandise, like we don't want to make anything off of merchandise.
No.
We want it to go towards the mission that we derive from, that we talked about during Musiciansless Arts, which was connecting all arts one step at a time, bringing the arts organizations together regardless of what you are, and regardless of what you play, sing, or like uh, paint or anything like that, or dance, anything. We want it to come together, and we also want organizations that are in need to receive help
Yeah.
in any financial way we can. Students who can't pay fees, they can still perform. Drum corps, if there's a drum corps performer that can't afford it and deserves that chance since they got contracted, to help raise some of their fees. If any program, even a drum corps, needs like instruments or financial help during tour, we can at
We
least
even
pitch
saw
in a
that
little
we even
bit.
saw that with this summer with Jersey
Yeah,
Surf. They sent out a
Turf was
message
in
for
trouble
help.
for a little bit, and that was
They
scary. And
needed
it's like that's where I wish that we had already started this months ago, to where maybe we could have helped
pitched
for
in
that.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe next year when we approach the summer, that's the core we kind of look at, and is like, hey, Jersey Surf, like we know last year, was hard, and if you still need just a little bit, we're willing to donate. We're willing to raise and stuff. And obviously, you don't just donate to these organizations through like merchandise. Eventually, in the next month, 2 months, something like that, we're gonna set up actual like donation spots on the website to donate to these specific organizations. Um, Eventually, we want to do like a program every month, and then a student or more, like for certain groups, like
Kind of like what UDB does with their tour
exactly,
giveaway. A free, obviously UDB already established has
yeah.
a solid,
A
decently
scholarship
solid
to March of
pool.
Drum Corps.
Right,
Like,
literally all expenses paid. Bro, sign me up. Um,
I mean, that's the goal
but
that we want to do, though.
but
Eventually, is like
yeah,
we want to
but
get to that point.
it really, I know a lot of people, specifically for DCI, I ask a lot of my friends who didn't march, and there was a poll that went out a while ago that was like, why did you not march, or why aren't you going to march?
Financials is a huge thing,
Financials is the huge thing, and
and music
we use,
aside,
yeah, it's
music
just
aside, financials are hard for everybody,
right,
regardless of what class you are. Um, it's always hard.
yeah,
Like, I know my tarpon band fees were pretty up there, but I also paid choir fees, and then I paid drum corps fees,
right.
and I would buy my solo. I'd pay for accompanist. Music's not cheap,
No, it's
and
not.
that's the thing and art's a little cheaper, but it's still not cheap. Like dance, like
No.
even just to perform a song, like you have to
Well, I
pay
mean, you've
copyright as
gotta
well. It's like
you've gotta buy, specifically for dancers, you gotta buy shoes,
a lot of shoes, a lot of shoes.
you gotta buy outfits, you gotta buy uniforms. Um,
Exactly.
you know,
Copyright if that like is needed for the performance, and that goes for all areas of music. But end of the day, music is not cheap. No art form is cheap, and that's another thing that kind of scares people off. And that's the scary thing.
and I
And
mean,
and that's where
mm,
I have said multiple times, like the art world is quote unquote dying in a sense. Um, at least
I can
the
see
last,
why.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons why. It's because everything's going up in price. Music's not cheap. It's getting It's getting harder to have people perform.
Right.
Like 5 grand, 6 grand for a summer. You know,
It's
it doesn't
getting to a
seem.
point where you can't even justify it.
Yeah, like that's why I didn't march this year.
It's
And
not
that's kind of
entirely
what
why I didn't march, but it's just, but it's definitely a factor. It's
it,
like, do I really
it
want to spend thousands of dollars in something where it's just
exactly. And that's and I don't
I
put that
don't
on
know if
any
I could.
core or anything
No,
like that because obviously we need to pay because everything went up in price and we have to pay for housing, we have to pay for gas, we have to pay for copyright, we have to pay for our uniforms, this and that and this and that and this and that. So it's a reasonable price. I get it, but it's just hard.
it's getting to the point where it's just hard to rationalize. Even for a program, that I'm going to bring this back to season two. Even a program that lives or that's 30, 40 minutes away from Lucas Oil, it's still a buttload of money to
Oh
get
yeah,
from
and
their school to the stadium.
God forbid, like yeah, you guys are right down the road, but it's still expensive.
It's
But
still
God
extremely
forbid,
expensive.
talking about Tarpon coming all
Yeah,
the way from Florida, or a
that's
band from
yeah,
Texas coming all the way
right.
from Texas. Yeah,
That's
Texas
expensive.
bands have
You gotta pay
a
for
lot of
drivers.
funding. They have a lot of
It
funding there.
depends. It depends on whether you fly or drive with buses or you just fly. I know for example Claudia Taylor flies to nationals, which, and every band has their own way of getting there, but some programs fly just so they don't have to pay all the fuel costs and everything of getting like 5 or 6 buses. And then, you got to pay your trailer drivers, you got to pay your EQ drivers.
It's a lot
Um,
taking into play. Like there's every single thing in the music world. And the end of this
Nothing
conversation,
is free
nothing
except
is
for time.
free.
Except for time.
Like nothing is free. And that's where we've gotten to the point where it's like, our organization, yeah, we want to sell our productions. We like making music. We like making drill. We like making this. Like making that. But we also want to give back. We want to help organizations get to where they need to be. Help students get to perform because they have that opportunity, and every performer and person in the art form deserves that chance to perform, regardless of financials. And we would just want to bring everyone together.
Right.
That's the main thing. Bringing everyone together and giving every single person the opportunity to perform in whatever form of art they want to perform in without the stress of financials. Because again, like that, it gets to the point. It's like think about this. Like that's the reason why I didn't march this year.
Yeah.
Is because of financials. If I had the financials, would I? Probably. But I guess, and then this is where I get philosophical. I guess is I believe everything happens for a reason,
Right.
and this happened, and now though I may not get the chance to perform like that again, and I'm not even upset, I get to help other people perform that way.
Yeah.
And also I get to get started early on drill and arranging and all that, and I'm having fun. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but that's based. Yeah, we don't get anything from merchandise. It goes it goes to charities and all that. That's the basic of it. Let's talk field production. As you can see, we're gonna see some new dates here. Here's a new format. The reason why the dates change is not because I didn't feel like I could do it. More that I do want to do it with quality, and I do not want to stress myself out if it does get close. But I am also adding drill to these productions, and Mitchell and I will be doing design, like costumes and drill, or not drill, props, shako tops, skirts if it is called for, flag designs, just all for the fun of that, and available with the show or separate. Obviously, it's not, you don't have to purchase all of it. You can purchase each section separately. Is like a design mock-up if you want like a mock design or drill. And obviously, if you purchase the drill, we can edit it for your ensemble, or I can edit it for the ensemble. And then same with the music. Like if you need it toned down a little bit, I will edit it, and I will rearrange it to fit your ensemble. Um, so Hades, the new release date is November of this year, so we'll get that in a couple months. The Elements will be in January, starting off the year. Psychosis will be in March. Then Moonlit Love will be in May. And then coming soon, Swinging Down Broadway, July 2023. And the reason why I have it ending there is because July, then we kind of cut it, fall season starts, and then I won't start the next collection till September,
We
basically.
still, and we've talked a little bit about it, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, we
there's
got
some
some
ideas.
ideas.
There's some ideas.
And
Yeehaw.
there's gonna and every collection will have five. It's gonna be done over a year. It's gonna end in July, because there are programs that still purchase those in July.
Oh
So
yeah. And that's
you know
completely all right,
it's starting before band camp, end of July, early August. And then September I'll start on the next collection basically, and because we already have collection 2 basically picked out, and the start of collection 3. Um,
Yes.
so we're a year and a half ahead basically. I'll give you guys a little hint. So the second collection will have 3 marching band shows and 2 show choir shows, all based off the same theme, but off of different locations in the world. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, so do with that as you will. And the start of the third collection, all I'm gonna say is one word, and Mitchell doesn't even know I selected this yet. Yeehaw. So yeah,
Better be a hoedown. Better
there's
be a
gonna
hoedown.
be there's gonna be a lot of nice
There's gonna
things
be a
coming.
hoedown. There's
Shh,
going to be a hoedown.
shh, stop.
Ah.
Um, there's a lot of great things coming. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to show you this. This is the new schedule. Sorry that I had to change. If any of you were excited for those in the next couple months, but now you can be excited longer, because the drill comes with it. And I'll post my drill video, like a clip of it, um,
Yeah.
with like a movement. Uh, I probably will tease Hades, and I'll tease other shows like throughout the time of its being written,
Yep.
just so you're not like, where's the show? Show me the show. Um, you'll get some a little taste of the shows, so don't worry. So now let's talk Bands of America. We gotta
Yeah.
uh, I know state circuits are starting up in the next couple weeks as well.
Yeah, I gotta start
Um,
looking at a couple Kentucky shows.
I've already had our first performance, and we have another performance this Friday. Football game. It's not like the full show yet. Um,
Right.
I added some choreo today, um, so that's exciting, and I get to
Okay.
add some more tomorrow. We're also starting the next movement of drill tomorrow, so that's also very learning day tomorrow.
All
Um,
right.
but they're doing great. Like, we did a parade this last weekend, and they marched for like 2 miles, and then all of a sudden, when we came back on Monday, they look amazing visually. And I just said, I'm like, so we needed to have a parade to basically whoop you into shape. Now you look awesome. Like
Man.
there were kids, like the rookies who like haven't figured it out yet. They
Hmm.
figured it out that like this weekend.
There you go.
So I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll
No, I
take
would
it.
too. I would
Um,
too.
so with these, we're just gonna basically go down the rundown, kind of like a schedule. If there's a show we want to look into and see who's there, say if you want anything, because Tarpon's going to 3. I that's like that's nothing like I could even imagine. Like we either did 1 or 2 depending on the year,
Yeah.
and Tarpon's going to Orlando, Tennessee, and Grand Nats.
When is that Tennessee show? I need to think about that.
It's the same one last year, but we'll go on to it. Let's just get on
When
this list
I
first.
might look at going to that. I'm gonna be honest. I might.
Okay.
Maybe.
I may end up going to that too, depending on
I was gonna say,
how.
you drive down here, we'll drive down together. We got you. I got
It
you.
just depends on what competition I have state circuit, because that's all happening at the
Yeah,
same time, and
same.
all
If
these
there's
shows are
something,
on the
if
weekend.
I have a football game that I have to perform at for
Yeah,
college,
exactly.
barely
So
get out of
September
that one.
17th, we're gonna have Obetio.
That's in
That is in
Columbus.
Columbus. I
Yeah, let's
know,
look at that.
and
Let's look at that show real quick.
I was gonna go to that one, but then I was like, I have a OMEA thing,
Oh,
so I
oh,
can't.
oh, oh.
Um,
Well,
unless it's
I
like,
mean, what time is it? What time is it? What
yeah,
time
I'm
is the?
about to see.
Hey, you gotta figure out the timing of the show and
Uh,
whatnot.
Lots
But
of high
let's look
schools
at
here.
so Franklin Central, I know. Campbell County, I'm not. A lot of these Kentucky schools, I'm not super familiar with, as I'm still kind of dabbling, dipping my feet into the state.
Say it, Mitchell. Say it. Say the L word.
Look, look, what? Which one?
Louisville.
Oh yeah, Louisville. Also known as Loserville in terms of
Oh,
UK speak.
stop.
Just kidding, just kidding,
Um,
just kidding.
yeah,
But
I
also
think we
not kidding
have
at the same time.
all
Hillstown.
Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana bands. That's it. Yeah,
Yes, I
so
would
that's it.
specifically like to point out one, Lakota West,
Oh,
two, Miamisburg, three, Noblesville, and is that the end of the list of the W's or is there more?
yeah, that's it.
Okay,
This
and
is everyone
then
right here.
three, so that's the three, and then I want to also talk about possibly Franklin Central. So Campbell, Kentucky, Campbell County, I'm gonna be honest, don't know where it is. I've heard the name around in various circles. Christian Academy of Louisville, there it is. Obviously in Louisville, they always go to BOA, they always go to Grand Nats, I'm pretty sure. So,
Grayson County.
uh, Grayson County, I'm not too familiar with. Honestly, Kevin is the guy for Kentucky band. I'm gonna be honest with you. Kevin knows a whole lot more than I do.
So
I'll
why
have
is
to
he
get
not
his.
here? So why is he not here?
He's in Moorhead right now for a Smash tournament. I'm sorry, I dropped the ball. Forgive me, I dropped the ball. Um, I'll get this knucklehead on at some point real soon. We can talk because this dude actually knows Kentucky way better than I do.
Like these Ohio schools, like like a lot of these Ohio schools are pretty good.
Miamisburg is all, last year they were like, I think they were in top three for Class 2A at Nationals. I know they were at a couple shows with Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
They had a solid show last year. And that's actually the staff there is potentially the indoor group that we're looking at for this winter, maybe. Who knows? We'll have to figure that out. Hey, all I'm saying is we could throw down. You and I could
We'll
throw down.
see.
We'll
It
see. We'll
depends
have
on
to
how
see.
rehearsals are.
Yeah.
Like it depends on what the rehearsals are like, because I can't just take weekends off.
No. No. Um, Miamisburg is solid. Who else did I say? Franklin Central. Really good Indiana band.
Yeah,
Not at the
they're solid.
not the level of like Carmel and Avon, Homestead, Fishers, and Center Grove and
They're still solid for their level though.
Brownsburg. But yeah, no, they're still a really solid program. Lakota West, one of the top high schools in Ohio, for band. West and East, both of them. West won a regional last year, I'm almost certain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this one, the last one I really specifically want to talk about, Noblesville. All right, so let's go flashback into 19. Noblesville had been competing as a track band up until that point, so they had majority of their season in the summer and ended with State Fair Band Day, which is like basically you do your entire show on a track, not a football field. So,
Interesting.
but they just made the decision in 19 to go to a field band and participate in ISMA. So I saw their show that year. It was solid. 2020 was all right from what I could tell. They have a strong indoor program, but
Mm-hmm.
2021, they come out of the gates and they're spitting out fire. Um, they make state finals in Class A for ISMA. Their technically their second season as a field band. So we're talking about like let me just pull up the exact uh um I want to look at these results for the marching band 2021 marching band state finals results. Okay. So Class A, you had Avon, Carmel, Fishers, Castle, Brownsburg, Homestead, Carroll High School from Fort Wayne, solid BOA program, Center Grove, a former Grand National champion, Noblesville High School, and then Floyd Central. Out of those names, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven out of those 10 names have been at least Grand National semifinalists
Mm-hmm.
within the past 5 years. And, obviously, one of those bands in those seven has brought home three national titles within the past 7 years. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty exclusive company.
Yeah.
And I want to actually, I'm also going to pull up because I love this program. I really do. Um, I want to see the results from Indy Super Regional last year. I'm pulling up. I got them. I can get them right here. I know they did really well. Let's see. Indy Super prelims. Okay. They didn't make finals, but they were very close. They were in 16th place and they take 14. They were 1.65 out of Super Regional finals. So,
Wow.
with 2 years of being a full field band,
That's
I
not bad at all.
no, no. So I actually emailed them and asked if they need any help this summer. Obviously things didn't work out with them, but I still wish them the best. Their show is called A Million Dream or something with a Million Dreams.
Are they
So like
released?
they announced a show video or like a preview, like kind of like a
Okay.
teaser trailer. I don't know where it is exactly. I could find it, but that would take a while.
And,
Um,
the thing about Ohio, and because we're on the first one,
well,
the Ohio
we
show.
know the top Ohio program. I don't think there's any
Well,
debating
well, yeah. This
in
this
terms
was the
of
point I'm getting to
competitive.
though. I feel personally, well, I've been in Ohio, and I'm from Ohio. The better bands in Ohio don't do bands in America.
Really
In my opinion, yeah. Like Licking Heights,
interesting.
like the school I work with, like they're at the level to where they could become a BOA band, and with a couple years of that competitive feel, they could be a threat for Ohio.
Okay.
Because like they're big in size. I think like the brass line may even be not the brass line. The woodwind line I think is almost the same, if not even bigger than Tarpons.
Okay.
The brass line's a bit smaller, just because. Well, this is the thing. The program is actually bigger than Tarpons, I think. But at Tarpon, we make everyone do the outdoor performance ensemble.
Yeah.
At Licking, we don't.
Right.
So there's like 5 other French horn players that don't play mellophone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's only 5 mellows in the marching band. So that doubles your section. It's like at our school, and Miss Beavers gives them the option to do marching band, and I
Yeah.
told her, I'm like, if everybody did marching band, we'd be huge. And
There's ups and downs with being a massive band, and I can tell you that firsthand.
oh,
Um,
trust me, I know, buddy. I know.
yeah.
I
Um,
know, I know the challenges. You don't gotta try and tell everyone the challenges. There's challenges with any sized band.
right. Well, it also gets super expensive, like more than like what you would probably budget for, and it gets to a point where it's just ridiculous.
Well,
There's
yeah,
some,
that's the thing
yeah,
where we just talked about music's not cheap. But
exactly.
again, with the Ohio thing, a lot of the really good Ohio bands stick to OMEA, and it's just like the school style.
Right.
I'm not saying there's not really good BOA bands in Ohio, but
No,
we could have even more if, say, certain ones went into Bands of America.
and I think especially after COVID, I really strongly think that we're gonna see in the next couple of years, we're gonna see a uptick in Midwestern bands who are
Mm-hmm.
not in BOA yet joining and
Hopefully.
just registering for these BOA shows. Just because there's so many in their backyard. You've got the Super Regional, you've got Nationals, you've got the Columbus Regional, you got Toledo, you got the, either Dayton or Kentucky, or heck, sometimes both. You've potentially got a Ball State Regional in Muncie, Indiana. You've got a whole bunch of shows that can definitely happen. You
Oh
have
yeah.
that Clarksville, Tennessee show, which is still within a drivable distance for some programs, like, in like Kentucky or Southern
Mm-hmm.
Indiana. Like, I know Castle goes to that one. O'Fallon Township from Illinois still sometimes comes to that one. So, there's no shortage of shows in here or Texas either. Um, but yeah, let's move on to the next show. Let's
So
get
same day, McAllen, Texas. It's a Texas show, so there's gonna be a
wow.
lot of great groups there.
Yeah.
Um, Veterans
Let's
Memorial
let's look
Stadium.
at let's look at can I look at see who's there right now or who's registered right now? Just I just want to see. I just Oh, this is the southern. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this is the really south. Um, John B. Alexander's a solid one there.
Uh huh.
Las Cruces, that's a new show for BOA, dipping into New Mexico. There's some
Heck yeah.
really solid programs out in New Mexico. Clovis High School out in New Mexico. Um, there's like I said, Clovis. I don't really know
Oh yeah,
any of these other
Riverside High School from
programs.
Texas.
I don't really know any of these other programs.
Eastwood,
I'm gonna be honest.
Grapevine.
I think these are some schools that, I don't want to say less competitive regional, but there's a lack of headliners.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lack of headline names, is a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
Can we look at this Clarksville show? Because
Clarksville. This isn't where
this is
Tarpon is at.
usually no, this is not. This is usually a really good show. Like I said before, O'Fallon there,
Yep.
Castle, Anderson County from Kentucky, a very solid, actually the state champion in their class last year. I have a good friend, my one of my good friends works with them. Murray High School from Kentucky is your one defending 1A national champion
Mm-hmm.
in BOA. Sigel from Tennessee is solid. There, I know the name. Bartlett from Tennessee, I've heard. Cabot High School from Arkansas, I've competed with. O'Fallon's really the headliner there. O'Fallon and Castle, though.
Yeah.
Although I'm gonna call it now. I'm gonna say Castle wins this one. This is kind of curious to me. That's always a toss up
Oh,
between O'Fallon and Castle.
I think O'Fallon will take it.
I
O'Fallon's
I've
always
heard I've heard something's
been a
for this
great
show this
ensemble.
year, and I'm telling you, there's something solid brewing up in Castle down in Scottsburg.
We'll see.
Toledo.
Yeah, Toledo. I would totally go to this one, but I have another OMEA thing.
Oh no.
Um, Toledo. There's a lot of great bands out there in Toledo.
Let's see. Archbishop Altar. Very solid.
Beaver
Goshen.
Creek.
Goshen's very solid. Hamilton Southeastern is solid. Homestead High School is the big headliner there.
Oh yeah.
Them, Jenison is solid in 2A. Lake Central's had better days, but I think they're back on the up and up. Um, Plymouth Canton Educational Park, former Grand National champion.
Mm-hmm.
Very famous program. Very, very, very respected program. Victor High School from New York and Rockford actually almost made finals in 18. Um, and Victor, I don't know too much about their program. However, we did compete with them in my freshman year in 16 at Dayton.
Uh huh.
They actually took like one or two sub captions from us.
Sweet.
To be fair, our show didn't really peak till later, so
Oh,
Dayton was kind of
whatever.
rough. Dayton was kind of rough for us that year, I will say that.
Um, Yeah, so this is September 24th, and we have two.
Austin, Texas. That's a
Yeah,
massive one.
yeah.
Let's
I
just
don't. We don't even really even need to see who's here because it's everybody,
let's
everyone
see.
who's
Let's see.
awesome.
Let me just Cedar Park, Cedar Ridge, James Bowie, Lake Travis, Leander, um, Round Rock, Hendrickson, who's
Yeah.
making their first trip up to Grand Nass this year, and Richard School for Young Women Leaders, Vandegrove High School,
Leander.
Leander,
Yeah, you love
Vista Ridge.
Vandegrift.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Shenandoah.
Shenandoah.
Uh,
Are you trying to register the two of us up to compete in a regional? We got it. Two-man band. Let's go. We can sweep captions. Let's go to Austin.
totally.
Let's go to Austin. Let's sweep captions.
Yeah, like, well, okay.
We got it.
Uh, we're just kind of zooming through these shows just because we'll cover these shows more as we
Right.
approach these shows because the lineup will change. People will still join and people will still leave. So, uh, it's gonna change, but a lot of these shows will have the similar people from last year, maybe some new faces, maybe some faces who aren't showing up. But BOA is gonna be pretty cool this year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Uh,
Well, let's
Des
look at
Moines,
the let's look at that October 1st regional. That
yeah,
next one down.
Louisville, yeah,
Let's
well,
no.
Flagstaff,
Hey!
Arizona,
What are you doing? We gotta look at that. We gotta look at the
yeah,
programs that are
that's
there.
okay. Look, yeah,
All right.
Carmel High
So
School's here, Centerville High School's here. We got Decatur
Adair,
Central, Henry
Adair.
Clay,
Don't leave out Adair, Beechwood, Bourbon, Brownsburg, who could probably make national finals this year. I'm rooting for them.
Westfield High
GRC,
School,
Westfield, my program that I worked with this year. Lakota East High School, Henry
Henry
Clay High
Clay.
School, Harrison County, which is another strong Kentucky program. GRC is a really famous one. Back in a couple, 10, 15 years ago. Same with PLD, Paul Lawrence Dunbar. The main headliner here though is Carmel High School.
No one
Um,
cares.
oh, get out of
Flagstaff,
here.
Arizona.
This is an
Uh,
interesting one. This is an interesting one.
that'll be a good show on October 1st.
It
Another
should
Texas
be.
show.
There you go.
Katy, Texas. Who's going here? Cedar Ridge. Claudia Taylor Johnson.
CTJ.
Lots of C's.
Yeah.
Franklin, Foster. Holy cow, yeah.
Ronald Reagan. There it is. Pearland, Seven Lakes. All
Well,
those three
this
really solid.
Texas is
Stephen F.
another
Austin.
state.
Well, Stephen
Texas,
F. Austin's where Catswell went.
Texas and Indiana are both states where you can throw a dart on a board and find a good band.
Yeah.
Um, I would say Ohio and Texas are the same because there's a lot of bands that don't do Bands of America that are awesome in state.
No, yeah, I completely agree.
Like, it's like our percussion at Licking is so like I know like Mr. Matthews, our percussion guy, like he stresses, but like because they're the defending champs from,
Right.
and it's like
What, from the
they're
indoor season
solid
or from the fall season
fall
last year?
season.
Ah, I
So
see.
but they're good. Like they're
Okay.
like like the horn line solid visually. Like I'm going for the best visual award. Come
Okay.
on, I'm going for it.
Well, yeah, that should
Like,
be
that's
every
my whole
visual.
job. That's
Yeah.
my whole job. So I'm
You gotta make
going
them look
for it.
good. You gotta make them look good.
They've gotten a lot better.
Good.
Newark.
Dallas Fort Worth, that's a big one. That is a
Oh,
massive one.
yeah. Let's
That
see
is a
here.
massive one.
Texas has so many.
Let's see. Capel, Flower Mound,
Flower
Hebron,
Mound,
Keller,
LD
LD
Bell,
Bell, Marcus, South Lake
Timber
Carroll, who's
Creek.
coming up to Nats this year. Timber Creek Salad. Waxahachie's really good. Wiley East is really good. Whitesboro solid.
So many.
Yeah.
Again, it's like these Texas shows. You know they're gonna be great. Same with Midland,
Yeah.
Texas. Let's see who's going.
Who's
here.
going there? I don't remember if I hear anyone going there. So Azel, who has a really strong indoor program.
Central.
Clovis from New Mexico is coming out. Fossil Ridge, Mo and Gene Johnson. they're coming to Nats this year for the first time, and they're a pretty solid program. I think they have a potential to make finals this year if they play their cards right. Their show is about Texas Hold'em, so
No comment. Of
and I'm
course.
not dissing it when I say this, but the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
October 14th and 15th.
St. Louis Super Regional.
St. Louis. Let's see. There's a quick
Wow,
Blue
I can take it.
Springs.
Yep. There's
Blue Springs,
BA,
Broken Arrow.
BSS,
Just quickly going through. LD
LD
Bell,
Bell, John Harden from Kentucky,
Lafayette,
Lakota West High School, Lincoln from
Lincoln,
South Dakota. They're a pretty solid program. Marion Catholic,
O'Fallon.
Marion Catholic needs no introduction. Morton High School is a really solid. Mustang.
O'Fallon.
We live for Mustang. We live for Mustang. Please give me another shark show or a dinosaur show, please.
O'Fallon. I keep saying
O'Fallon.
it. O'Fallon.
Yes, sir. Russell County, from Kentucky, solid program.
That's gonna be a
Prospect
good
from Illinois.
show.
Yeah, it's a really good show almost every year.
Oh, North Texas.
I want to say
Let's see.
Hebron's there too. I want to say they're there. No, they're not.
Prosper.
Owasso from Oklahoma. Let's see, South Lake Carroll. Westwood's really good. Westlake is really good.
Mhm.
Choctaw's solid. Azle from Texas, of course. Their winter wins program is really, really, really good. Love them.
Mhm.
Keller Central is a strong program.
Man, all of these are gonna be great shows. So Johnson City. This is the one
October
Tarkin's going
15th.
to.
You know what? We're gonna just
Right here.
what is
So
it?
they're going to
October
this-
15th?
Yeah, October 15th.
Come on, please, please,
Yes,
please. Don't tell me.
Dobbins Bennett will be going.
Oh, it's a home. I can't go to the show. I got a football game. I got a football
Dobbins
game.
Bennett, Tarpon Springs, Park Vista from Florida as well.
Yeah, that's
Um,
interesting. So a lot of programs are taking a little bit of a hike.
Yeah, there's a lot of programs not near Tennessee.
Well, it's not even that they're not near Tennessee. It's just more so
It's still a
of
hike through the mountains, bro.
it really is.
You have to go around them.
You got Archbishop Alter, really solid 1A school. Coweta, Oklahoma, really solid. Obviously DB and Tarpon headline this regional, but
No, yeah, they're the. I mean, Tarpon took it last year, so
yeah.
I'm
Although
not too worried.
I will say, Dobbins Bennett, I was not a huge fan last year, just solely because I wasn't a huge fan of the book. And there, I could go into more, but all I can say is I don't think Simple Gifts was done justice that night.
North Carolina.
Yeah, the Wake Forest show's back. And then we got
Okay.
Indy Super.
So before we get into this Indy Super, I absolutely hate the Indy Super.
Why?
I think it's You know how in drum corps you don't get to perform in Lucas Oil.
Oh, you
until
think
you
it's
get to
cheating?
perform in
You
Lucas
think it's
Oil.
cheating?
No,
You
I
think
just don't
it's
think.
cheating?
No, I'm not saying it's cheating. I just think it's not fair that programs that go to Nats still get to perform in Lucas Oil before they perform in Nats. That's like the solidarity thing in drum corps. It's like mutual respect for everybody. We won't touch the stadium till everyone's in the stadium. And I think that regional needs to be moved. Personally. I don't think people should be performing in the stadium that Grand Nats is going to be held with their show that they're going to perform there in a couple weeks. Like, I don't think that. I get Indy has a lot of bands and it's a big regional, but like, you shouldn't be doing it in that stadium. It's just
I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
It's
I think.
either move Grand Nats to another stadium
No,
or move
no,
the
no, no,
regional
no,
to another stadium.
I don't know about that. I don't agree.
There are a
with
lot more
that.
bands that go to Grand Nats that I think it's just
Right.
unfair.
However,
that
I would
people
like
get
to
perform in
counterpoint.
this. How are you going to counterpoint it? You get to
I'm
hear
gonna
the sound of the
counterpoint with
stadium with
weather.
your show.
I'm gonna
You get to
counterpoint
be
with
in the
weather.
stadium.
My thing
Like,
is weather. Because if it's a super regional, you have all these bunches of bands showing up for the show. And where else could you put a show that has a dome
move it out
anywhere
of
near it?
Indianapolis.
Where though?
Go to another city. You can travel.
Where? I know, but where?
Pick a stadium in Indianapolis that has a ceiling.
There is none but
You can
Lucas
find
Oil.
one. That you're not going to tell me that there's no stadium in Indianapolis that does not have a roof.
I mean, outside of a basketball stadium, outside of a
No,
basketball
you
venue.
can't tell me.
No, we don't have programs
Every
that
state
have
has stadiums that has a
a
roof,
dome.
a dome.
We
And if
don't have
not, move the
outside
super
of Lucas
regional.
Oil.
Or just don't have an Indianapolis super regional if people get to perform in Lucas Oil before
I don't
Lucas Oil
know.
happens. It's like I would hate it in drum corps, and you got mad if that was actually blue coats in the regional in Lucas Oil. You got mad at that. You get mad if it's other programs, but when it's your program involved, you won't get
Oh
mad.
no, 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 no,
No, you
no.
that's the exact reason. And this is I'm not hating on Carmel or Avon or the
No.
groups who perform at this regional. I just think it's unjust that there are programs who can't travel out to Lucas Oil to do a super regional and get a chance to perform in Lucas Oil before they get to perform in Lucas Oil. I think Lucas Oil is a solidarity place and should just be held for Grand Nats and maybe state finals for Indy, for like Indianapolis fans, but move state finals after Lucas Oil. I think Lucas Oil is a holy place for the music marching world, and it should only because it's a great stadium. You know, back in the day we used to change it, and but now it's Lucas Oil. It's Indianapolis. It's where it's at. But no one touches it until that show. Because I would hate it if there was like a Drum Corps International super regional in that stadium. Because like
My
that would
thing,
because half the corps wouldn't be able to go to it because of where they
right?
bait like the Western corps may not be out there yet.
No.
People will still be on the East Coast. Like Bluecoats will probably go there. A couple other like just closer in there during that part of the tour. It's like I just think it's unjust. So I
My
hate
thing
hate.
about
I'm
it
using hate
is
as a
just
strong word, but I'm using it lightly, saying I do not like this that it is a super regional.
my thing about it is that more so for me, it's just there's nowhere else to have it outside of like maybe Detroit,
Go
but
to
that's
Detroit.
that's still a hike for a
It's a
lot of.
well. Okay, it may be a hike for a lot of you, but everyone takes a hike to Lucas Oil.
Right,
That's
right,
where the
right.
debate comes back into play. Like, okay, we should just move the world champion
No,
national.
no,
We
you
should
don't do
just
that.
move the location
No,
like we used to, so
no,
everyone has a chance to go
no,
to make it fair.
but
Because if we talk
also,
fair, it's not fair that groups get to perform in the super regional before groups get to perform in the super regional. There are groups that come from Texas and Florida that never get to touch a dome
there are
until
groups
Lucas
that come
Oil.
to there's been a couple groups that come to Indianapolis Super Regional. Actually, you know what? I want to pull up the list. I want to pull up the I want to pull up the participants list real quick. I want to just see something because I heard something that might be true.
Indiana, Indiana,
Um,
Indiana, 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 Indiana. A
Kentucky.
couple out of state. A couple.
Well, hold on. I want to see if um is it true that they're doing this?
Just what
Um,
school is it? Westfield? They're right there.
no, it's a Florida group. What's their name? Oh God, Windermere. I heard they flirted with this regional. They flirted with coming up here, actually.
I don't think they're here now.
No, they're not here
Because
now.
it's like thousands of dollars. Like it's like two
Right.
grand for every person they do.
Well, see, the thing is, they looked at it, and I do want to look at this regional as, this is a very good way to tell where people stack up before Grand
That,
Nats.
well, that's the thing. No one else gets to do it. That we talk about super regionals and drum corps setting it up. We
Right.
line up scores, But most groups don't even get to go to a super regional, and a super regional in Lucas Oil Stadium, where they get to feel how the temperature feels in the stadium a couple weeks before. They get to feel how it sounds to play in it. They get to feel how the field feels. They
Right.
get to see how the form looks from the box. Like, it's. I think it's unjust. I don't think there should be a Lucas Oil Super Regional, and that's the one thing in music. And that's literally probably the one thing I will ever complain about Bands of America wise, besides for judges, like anything judging. It's the whole world. Judging is always has a bias to it, and we've talked about it, slotting with cadets, this and that. When I throw
Yeah.
your group's name in it, you'll turn ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about, dog.
Yeah. Well, we all know, Mitchell.
Oh
And
God.
the only reason you're okay with it is because Carmel goes here, and Westfield. Um, but I think it's just unjust that there's a super regional in Lucas Oil when they just shouldn't have a super regional in Lucas Oil. It's unjust for groups to go there, and this is the one thing I'll complain about Bands of America competition wise is this. All the other shows I could care less. Cool. It's hot, cool. It's cold, cool. Whatever. There's a dome, there's not a dome, I don't care. But it's not. I'm looking at it from a performer's perspective, and now a past performer perspective. Now where I have almost no bias because I really don't care who wins.
Right.
I want the best group to win fairly, and I think it's not fair to other groups. I'm not dogging on any of the other
No.
groups.
No.
Like Carmel, Avon, I don't care that they're there. I don't care who's there. It's
Right.
just the moral behind the stadium they are using. I feel like it just kind of is a big middle finger to the other groups. It's like, we get to perform here. I know it's like the only place we can because we don't want to move it to have a hike. It's like other programs have to spend thousands of dollars to go here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying Carmel doesn't spend thousands of dollars, but they don't spend as much as a band from Florida or Texas or Oklahoma or like
Right.
because they're 40 minutes away.
They don't have to pay for hotels.
Exactly, they get to
They
go
don't
home,
have to.
sleep in their own bed.
They
They
don't
get
have
to
to
go
pay for
home.
rehearsal space either.
Exactly, it's a lot cheaper. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they don't spend money because they have to get buses, gas, all this, blah blah blah. Music's expensive, but I just think to perform in the holy stadium of the Colts,
We are
it's
blessed.
not. It's always the final performances. I just don't like it. I
That's
don't.
fair.
You can have your own opinion on it. I don't care what your opinion
Right.
is because you're biased towards it. I just think it's. I've had this conversation with so many people, and they always agree with me that it's not right. I'd rather have. I'd rather go go sit at a Michigan game
Ugh. No, thank you.
as an Ohio State fan than this exist.
I would not.
That's how desperate
Anything,
I am
anything
about this.
but.
But
Anything
moving
but.
on, Orlando Tarpon's going to this, and Wando's also going to this one.
Wanda, yeah, let's look at this list because there's a couple people, a couple groups that I'm
Wando.
interested. So Wando, you got Windermere High School from Florida, Timber Creek, Tarpon Springs, Stoneman Douglas, Seminole. Can we go up a little bit?
Yeah, hold on. Countryside High School. That's surprising. That's from Pinellas County as well.
Oh wow. James Bowie from Texas. There's another band there that
Gainesville.
hey, I was actually there in January at Camping World Stadium. That's a fun place to play. I was there for the Citrus Bowl. That was so much fun. Um, it's a nice
Yeah,
facility actually.
Seminole High School, another school from Pinellas County where Tarpon's at. Stoneman Douglas is the school a couple years ago that had that.
School
My
shooting,
fresh,
yeah.
yeah. Palm Harbor University, another school from Pinellas County.
Really?
The Newberry High School. Sorry, they
They're
they come
going to
to
Nats.
they come to outdoor music festival.
Okay.
So and then the announcer's always like, "Oh, Newberry High School." um, yeah. There's a. Oh yeah. Look at that. Like you said, James Bowie From Texas.
So obviously, the show is cool, but you've also got those attractions there like Universal Orlando that really just draw programs to it.
That's why Broken Arrow came.
And Disney, and you know what? Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but we
There's a
don't
lot of
like this is a Florida regional. Like,
I think when it's all said and done, I think Tarpon wins it.
yeah, I don't know. I think Wanda will get close to us in something, but this year Tarpon's cooking up some great things.
Okay.
Um, so I'm not worried about it.
Love to
Uh,
see it. Can't
you
wait to
know,
see it.
I discussed the show with some Tarpon people,
Oh,
so it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice show. Um, I think it's gonna be great for how because with how Tarpon performs, it's a great show for us. So
okay.
I'm excited to see where it's at. Orlando Stadium, the Citrus Bowl, is
Yeah.
probably the worst stadium I've ever performed in.
Really?
Because this is the only time we've ever performed in the sunlight. Because most groups perform when the sun's going down throughout the year, or they're in a stadium like a dome. Tarpon always
Well,
performs in last whenever we would perform in Florida or any regional in Atlanta or anything like that. We'd be last, and it'd be dark. And in Indy, we're in a stadium. So for
I
us to
mean,
just get thrown back into the Orlando
prelims.
regional in uh, for us to get thrown back into the Orlando regional after Mercedes Benz increased their price when the stadium was made, because we used to do Atlanta,
Right.
for us to get thrown back into this RP1 year, our soles were melting off our shoes, people were passing out. Because, yeah, we rehearse in the sunlight from 4 to 9, but we performed at like 1 o'clock, which is like the hottest time in Florida, and it's humid, and it's this and that. So I don't want to hear you say anything about heat.
I'm not saying anything
We're
about
not
heat.
loud.
I'm just saying like, I mean, obviously prelims are always during the day, so
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like for us, we're not used to
right.
that because we're always in a dome or we perform last because we're the biggest group. Like
Yeah.
the biggest group usually perform last
Right.
because
Yeah.
they're the crowd pleaser at the end of the night. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh yeah, they'll probably win. It's like that's kind of how it's always been, especially at
Right.
our small competitions like Seminole Sound or East Lake Classic or like FMEA stuff. Like that's
Right.
how it is. But for us
hmm
to and I hate that Mercedes Benz increased. It's a terrible stadium to play in, but my freshman year when we performed there, it was great to perform there. We were like the first marching thing to go and happen there, so it was cool.
Right.
And then drum corps does it, but it's it's so bad. Have you been to Mercedes?
Never.
It's so bad. If DCI like doesn't in Mercedes, don't go. Don't.
I mean,
It's
if
so
I'm
bad.
touring, I don't know if I have much say in that.
No, like it's even as like the listener, no matter where you sit, it doesn't even work. It just
Hmm.
doesn't.
Really?
like, and like, I mean, I'd rather perform in that stadium than the Citrus Bowl, just because, again, prelims is during the morning, like so it's hot, and then at night in the Citrus Bowl, yeah, we performed at night because we made the finals and stuff. But like the prelims run that day was rough, and then Revolution Remix was better because we realized that this is a new thing we have to do every year instead of Atlanta. So we would start rehearsing with jackets in the mid like summer rehearsals to get used to that because we're not used to it. And it's ironic we say that because we're from Florida, but that I mean, you throw us into that after however many years of not doing Orlando, and it's just like we didn't expect it.
Right.
So, but Orlando should be a good show. A lot of the Pinellas County bands are getting a lot better. So, um, a lot of them go to that regional now. They're all like BOA bands now, so it's pretty cool.
Who's going to Jacksonville? I think I know who is, but I want to make sure. I want to know.
Dobbins
Okay,
Bennett,
so
Kennesaw Mountain.
Harrison from Georgia, Kennesaw is solid. James F. Burns is solid.
Who?
Um, let's see. Is Wando
Pope.
going? Pope. Wando is not going. Wow,
That's a
okay.
surprise.
Because they went to the show last year. Um, should be a solid show.
Wacko.
Waco's really solid. It was always a solid
Let's
show
go
from
in
what I've been
here.
told.
Just a quick little run through. Cedar
Cedar
Park.
Park, Leander, Mo and Gene Johnson, Hendrickson, Colony. Okay.
Texas show will always be a good show.
Texas show. It's just a typical Texas show.
Uh, New Jersey.
Joyzy.
Uh, Super Regional San Antonio.
Uh,
Everyone.
everyone in Texas, as well as their mother, goes out to the San Antonio
Utah.
Super Regional. Utah,
And now Grand
Grand
Nationals. Huh.
Nats.
Look at that. Look
Wow.
at that picture. That picture looks
What?
familiar. Oh, my like 20-minute rant on it. That's why.
Haha.
Yeah.
All
Let's look
right,
at
all right.
who's all
Let's look at
going.
this. Let's look
I
at
know we've
this.
talked about it throughout DCI, but now
So we got
we got
American
the.
Fork as a potential finalist. Avon from Indiana, of course. No explanation needed.
Yeah, you love Avon. Broken Arrow,
Oh yeah, they're great. Broken
Brownsburg.
Arrow, defending national champion. I love Brownsburg. I hope to God they make finals this year. I want them to.
I think they
Carmel.
will.
I think they can. I think it's a
Uh,
lighter year. It's not Texpocalypse. That's next year.
huh.
Texpocalypse is next year because Hebron's supposed to come back next year. So,
Tonyo Mail.
Caramel, yes. Castle, Center
Oh
Grove,
yeah.
Centerville, um,
Dobbins
Thomas
Bennett.
Bennett, Fishers, Forest Hills is solid. Goshen is solid. Greendale is solid. Green Valley is solid. Greenfield Central is solid. Homestead, Lake
Marion
Hamilton
Catholic.
solid. Marion Catholic. Mo and Gene
Moen
Johnson.
G.
Lincoln Way.
Johnson.
Lincoln Way is coming. So I'm excited for that. Um,
Newberry High School.
exactly. Murray from Kentucky.
I need to
North
see how
Hardin.
Newberry if Newberry is driving or if they're flying.
I see.
Because I know we always bus. So
Yeah.
O'Fallon.
Prosper. Hendrickson. Rosemount. Plymouth End.
Educational Park.
PCEP.
Stoneman
South Lake Carroll.
Douglas.
Stoneman Douglas is coming. Tarpon.
Tarpon Springs.
William
Dang,
Mason.
Wanda's not going?
No, Wando's not going this year. Remember, they go every other year.
Um,
So Wando's
I hope
going
this is.
next year.
I hope this isn't Tarpon's like every other year, because I want Wando and Tarpon to compete.
Well, I think Tarpon and I think Wando. I just think because they went last year, and obviously like we said, it's expensive to get out to Grand Nats. Programs don't usually have
No,
that money to go
Tarpon
every
wanted to
year.
last year, but
Right.
again, we couldn't. It's expensive, and
hmm
like Pinellas County, and also Florida's expensive in general. Living in Florida,
And there's
so
also, this is less of a factor, but there's also the factor of you want to set your kids up for success.
exactly.
And if a lot of, if not all of the strong Texas bands are coming back next year, and none of them are coming this year, or okay, I lied. I don't want to say no strong Texas bands are coming this year because there's some pretty solid ones, but in terms of if we're talking about 2019 in terms of Texpocalypse, with Vandergrift, Hebron, Leander, Claudia Taylor,
You
Round Rock.
overreact.
Well, no, that was just the Woodlands. That was just so many Texas bands. So many of the top six all came out.
Yeah, I hope they keep coming out.
Well, yeah, I do too. I want to see them. I love seeing them come up to Indy and see how they stack up with the rest of the country. But at the same time, if you're a program who is usually on the edge of finals, or which that's a whole other argument, which I don't think Wando should have been out of finals last year. I will go to my grave saying that, and I have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of complaints about last year. Um, but either way, we can discuss that at another point.
Broken
But
Arrow deserved it.
I'll say that I'll agree with you there. However, I don't think the gap should have been as big. But
Oh,
again, I don't think the gap should have been as big. I think Broken Arrow definitely had it. Props to them. Congrats on that. Congrats for them. That's solid. That's awesome. They had a really good show. I don't think the gap should have been as big with the second place runner up, but that whole ninth through 12th or ninth through 14th, I had an absolute massive issue with. One, I just, given that what Cadets did last year in 21, where he played Simple Gifts, that's a very, very prominent tune. And I don't know if Dobbins Bennett played it well. I think, and I don't want to say it was the performer's fault. I want to say it was bad arranging because it just, especially as someone who played the chart the way that we did, I just felt slighted almost by them doing that. And of course, I know, of course, Drumcorn BOA isn't comparable, but at the same time, I just had a
yeah,
massive
it's
issue
not
with the
comparable
arrangement.
when bands get to perform in Lucas Oil before they get to perform in Lucas Oil.
Okay, touche. But either way, I don't know if both Dobbins Bennett and Blue Springs should have beaten Wando last year
Oh, I think Blue
because
Spring should have.
I don't know if Blue Springs should have.
Well,
I didn't think so.
let's talk about 2018.
Okay, 2018 is a completely different story though.
Like they had Blue Springs above Broken Arrow and Tarpon.
No,
So
I
Blue
think
Springs
that's a
is
load of
clear.
dog. I think that's
I
a load of
think
dog water.
well, a lot of the scoring that year was a yeah, but and that's trying to put my bias aside. That's just best shows should win.
Right.
Um, Blue Springs, they do something for the judges. Like they play well, they
They
march well,
play to
they
the
do something.
sheets.
Yeah, they play. It's kind of like it's like a mini Blue Devils. They know they have the same like way to they play. They know how to turn the judges toward them.
But
You know
I just
they don't
I
keen the
don't
eye
agree
on
with I don't agree with what happened. I don't agree with the judging that in that semifinals panel because I watched both of those shows.
them.
Actually, I watched all three of those shows that I've mentioned in
Mhm.
person in semis from the same seat, middle row, like middle of this middle section, not too far up, not too far back. I was
Mhm.
just perfectly in the middle. That was the most shocking thing that I have heard in a very long time from BOA, as in Wando not making finals, because
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute travesty. Because I love their show. I think their show was honestly a lot better than. I think they had a better show design than Blue Springs and Dobbins Bennett. Maybe
Mhm.
execution wise, maybe Blue Springs was a little better, but I don't agree with that one. But still, my point remains. Wando should have been in finals. I will go to my grave. Everyone I
Yeah.
talked to was
I
like,
think
"What is
Wando is a
this? This is
group
gypped."
that deserves to be in
Um,
finals, but it gets to a point where again like there are a lot of great bands out there.
yeah,
There are a lot of great bands that don't even do Bands of America that would be
right.
huge threats in the Bands of America thing. Like Licking Heights, I think if they were to become be a way band, I think they'd make semis. Um, pretty like easy their first year. I think they would be able to make semis pretty easy. Um, just because of like the way they perform. And I
hmm
think if they did keep going to BOA and they did make that change, um, and this is obviously just a theory because we're an OMEA band, but I feel like if they did that over time, I feel like with how big their program is, and if they changed into the direction and they made all their performers in the wind ensembles join band, kind of like what Tarpon does and what a lot of programs do, they give them the option like you kind of have to at least do something in the marching ensemble.
Right.
Because I mean, with us, that's our fun. Like double reads, like they'll be in the back ensemble or they'll join pit, like they'll do something. Uh, but it's just, I think, end of the story is I think if they like got that size of the
Right.
band, they have the staff, and I mean our staff is pretty great. I know I'm here. Um,
Wow. Wow.
uh,
Wow.
well, dude,
No, no, it's
I
fine.
listen. I love these kids appropriately. Um, as their visual instructor, but it was rough,
Yeah.
and it's surprising that this one freshman, I won't say his name, obviously, I won't say the section, but this one freshman, he impresses me every single day. He is a rookie. He was gonna march in 8th grade,
Right.
but he only went to certain camps and then he played a sport. But he is better than like most, like some of the juniors. Not most of them, some of the juniors. Like he is a good marcher.
Hmm.
And I told him today, I was like, you are probably like my favorite in this section of the band. You always ask questions. You always want to get better. You're always testing things out when we're at low, like how to get better. And I'm like, I love that.
Yeah.
Shows me you want to learn. That's why I tell the kids. I'm like, listen, ask me questions, especially about
Yes.
this choreo that's like foreign to you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing like the Blue Coast beep beep, how they like go up on their toes in the open second plie.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
doing
Forced
that.
arches. That's
but
too much. That's too much, dude. I swear. It's too
but
much.
and the story, I think they'd be a great BOA band with time.
Yeah.
Like I think honestly they could become a finalist in Grand Nats with time.
Okay.
But I think any program with time
Yeah.
has that power. It's
No,
just
yeah.
the student's dedication, the way you teach it. You have to adapt to your ensemble and see, okay, half these kids like it this way, these kids want it this way, let me do it both. It's like you want to teach the kids the way they can be taught.
Right, yeah. And every kid is
Some,
teachable.
yeah, exactly. Every
You
kid is
just have to
teachable.
you just have to find the right way to teach each
hmm
singular kid.
Like,
No one is the same.
every person in visual or music, you always have like, the one student that the way you're teaching just doesn't work for them, so they kind of fall behind, and
Right.
you gotta catch them off, and that's not their fault. It's
No.
more of the teacher's fault. It's more like
Yeah.
I didn't catch that, or maybe I should
Yeah.
have tried to adapt it quicker, and it's not obviously the teacher's full fault, but it's kind of like we should take accountability for it as the adults, the leaders, the teachers,
Correct.
and then you got to test like so there are kids that screaming left in their ear will help them.
Yeah.
There are kids that marching in front of them pointing down on left, 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 like that will
Yeah.
help. There are kids that it's just mark time with a metronome, that will help. It's like, and that's just visual, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things that you can teach. You can teach them in many different ways. Everything has millions of different ways to teach it and different
Right.
words to describe it. Like um like choreo, like I can just sing it, like sing the part while I'm doing it, like just kind of say it, do 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 do, like it's like that, or I can count it, or I can do it and have them follow with me, and it's like this, and that again, that's just the visual side of things. But every student is teachable, and that's where I think um, some programs not give up, but they don't fully want to put that energy into like certain
Right.
students, and that gets people to leave music and leave art, and it's like they don't get the constructive criticism they need to get better. And there are just some kids that love it so much to like yell at me, what did I do?
Yeah.
Did I do better? How do I fix it? It's like if every student
Please,
was like
someone,
that,
please, God, tell me I am being a little tick.
like
Please.
if every band and every student was like that, and any ensemble, show choir, or anything, everything
Right.
would be so good. Everyone would want to be in it. And actually, moving on from band, let's talk some show choir real quick. there's not much to talk about. Show choir dance camps. Some schools have had them. Some schools will have them soon. It just depends on the program. Uh, the main circuit we're going to be looking at is a lot of local competitions like invitationals across states, especially like the Tifton Peach State Invitational in Georgia, Fame Show Choir competitions. Those are like it's like kind of like the BOA, and like that's kind of what that is.
All
They
right.
don't have many shows, but it's a big hitter. I know technically, my senior year we were gonna go to New York, but COVID happened, so we
Yeah,
did
that
not get
kind
to
of,
go.
yeah, the work kind of
So,
stopped.
and that's where a Fame Show Choir show usually is. So,
See.
yay,
Yeah.
yay. But the show choir, we won't really get into any competitions till probably next season when we talk about indoor. But we'll get to see a lot of preseason and some shows getting performed, just not at the competitive level. Because show choir is like a whole year type thing. It's not like marching band where it's just a season. It's
Right.
part of the summer, fall, winter, spring. It's basically the whole year. So, but yeah, lots of things music wise. We don't have any real ensemble sit downs to look at yet. We want to watch recordings of concerts. We probably won't get many of those till like September, October, November. We'll get some fall concerts going
Mm-hmm.
and see some indoor preseason maybe. Maybe we'll get some indoor preseason toward the end of it. Who knows? We
Maybe
may be
we'll
in
have to
one.
look at all. Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta once that audition stuff drops, we gotta take a look and take a long hard
Uh,
thought.
yeah, I need to see some schedules first.
Yeah, I do too.
Did you see? Yeah. So if drum corps packets are out, so we'll talk drum corps real quick too. Drum corps audition packets are out for lots of them. Colts, Colts are free.
Free, I
Their
know.
packets are free. So if you don't even want to audition for a chord, you just want to practice audition next year, go get the Colts packet.
I might honestly get the Colts packet myself just to
Um,
see where I'm.
I downloaded it just to have it. Like, I'm not auditioning for Colts, but I downloaded just to have it
Just
because
see what
it's
they're kind of doing,
yeah
what they're looking
see
for this year.
yeah see what technique they're going for, lyrical, what are they looking for performing, ensemble wise. But yeah, I think we've rambled on enough tonight
A little
about
bit.
band. So this is the season premiere of season two. Go get your shirts. They're not on pre-order anymore. Lots of colors. If you want the teddy bear, I'll put the teddy bear out because I kind of want a teddy bear myself, and I'm gonna put him right here next to me, and it's gonna be our mascot.
All
So
right.
get the get the t-shirts. They're very comfortable. I promise. We're gonna get some nice hats like this with the embroidery um, of the podcast and the Raised Inspiring Production shirts. But besides for that, lots of crazy BOA shows this year. I know we didn't dive into everyone, but we'll dive into them as we approach those weeks. But we have a couple weeks till then. Uh, so the next couple weeks, we're actually going to look at the last couple years, see kind of how bands performed, especially last year, and see maybe what direction they may be going. And throughout the next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about local show performances we get videos of online, show
Maybe I
reveals,
might be able to drop a
memes.
couple things after our first show, after
Yeah,
Westfield's first show. I
as
might
as
be
soon
able
as a
to.
couple shows have happened and people have released throughout the next couple weeks, we'll get to talk more shows and talk about how they'll perform at the regionals, super regionals, Nats. We'll talk hashtag Lucas Oil only Grand Nats and only World Championships.
And
It's a sacred place. And you should
yeah,
agree, Mitchell, it is a sacred place.
I don't disagree there. I definitely agree that Luke's Oil is a sacred place.
Or maybe we'll just give Carmel enough money to have a dome so the super regional can be at Carmel High School.
Hey yo, we hosting Super Regional?
See, now you're happy.
That would be
Put,
that would
now
be
we've put it
interesting.
aside. Okay, go on the website, buy some T-shirts, share, subscribe, like all of the above, and tune in next week when we start, looking at the past years until we start getting some show reveals and some shows of early season for a lot of groups, and we'll dive into more of state circuits next week. We'll probably touch on basically all the states and see what's going on there. But this was mainly BOA today, so we'll catch y'all next
Sir.
week and peace out.